My name is Alex Rivera. For 14 months, I had lived on Maple Grove Lane as if I belonged there. I mowed the lawn every Sunday at 9 a.m. sharp, paid my HOA dues on the first of every month, and never parked my Jeep more than 2 inches from the curb. The vehicle itself looked ordinary. Faded blue paint, a few dents, a cracked side mirror, but it was anything but ordinary. It was the mobile nerve center of Operation Shadow Net, a joint task force targeting a sophisticated identity theft ring operating across 3 counties. Inside the Jeep's modified panels sat encrypted servers, listening equipment, and cameras that fed live data to a command post 10 miles away. The Jeep wasn't just a car. It was evidence. It was bait. And it was never supposed to be noticed. Until HOA President Karen decided otherwise. The trouble started on a humid Tuesday evening in late August. I had just returned from a 6-hour surveillance shift and backed the Jeep into my assigned spot at the end of the cul-de-sac. The neighborhood was quiet, the kind of quiet that costs $185 a month in dues. Streetlights flickered on as I locked the hardened steel wheel lock and the reinforced chain I always used around the hitch. Standard procedure for any undercover asset parked overnight. I was inside making coffee when the first knock came. It wasn't the polite kind. It was sharp, impatient. Through the peephole I saw her. Karen Whitaker, 53, blonde bob cut like it had been measured with a ruler, pearl earrings even at dusk. She wore a mint green pantsuit and carried her ever-present clipboard. "Open the door. Mr. Rivera," she began without greeting. "Your vehicle is in violation of Section 4.2 of the Maple Grove Homeowners Association covenants. Unapproved modifications. Visible chains. It's an eyesore." Kept my voice calm. "It's legally parked, Mrs. Whitaker. The chains are for security. I've had tools stolen before." She smiled the way people do when they've already decided you're the enemy. "The board has discussed this. You have 24 hours to remove the vehicle or we will have it towed at your expense." "Good evening." The door closed before I could respond. I called my handler, Sergeant Morales, that night. "They're pushing hard on the Jeep," I told him. "I can move it to the secondary lot tomorrow." "Negative," he replied. "We're picking up chatter on the ring's communications. They're watching this neighborhood. The Jeep stays. Just keep it low profile." I should have known Karen Whitaker didn't do low profile. At 2:17 a.m., the security camera I had discreetly mounted under the Jeep's bumper recorded everything. A white golf cart rolled silently down the street, headlights off. Karen was driving. Beside her sat her husband, Dale, looking nervous, and a man in a reflective towing vest I didn't recognize. They stopped directly in front of my driveway. Karen stepped out holding a pair of heavy bolt cutters. "Section 4.2 gives us authority," she whispered, loud enough for the microphone to catch. "It's abandoned. It's been here too long. We're not breaking the law. We're enforcing the rules." Dale hesitated. "Karen, maybe we should just call the towing company in the morning." "This is faster," she snapped. "By sunrise it'll be gone and the neighborhood will thank us." The bolt cutters snapped through the hardened chain with a metallic crunch. The wheel lock took longer, but she was determined. Sparks flew as the metal gave way. Within 8 minutes, they had the Jeep unsecured. The man in the towing vest hooked up a portable winch. The Jeep's tires whispered across the asphalt as they began pulling it toward the main road where a flatbed waited. That was when everything changed. I woke to the vibration alert on my phone. The camera feed showed the Jeep already halfway out of the cul-de-sac. I pulled on clothes and ran outside, heart hammering. "Hey! What the hell are you doing?" Karen turned, bolt cutter still in hand, looking triumphant. "This vehicle is in violation, Mr. Rivera. It's being removed per HOA policy. You can collect it from the impound lot tomorrow after paying the fines." Kept my hands visible. "That Jeep belongs to a federal task force. You just tampered with an active law enforcement asset." She laughed. An actual condescending laugh. "Nice try. Everyone knows you're some kind of drifter. Dale, keep winching." I spoke clearly into my phone, loud enough for her to hear. "Control, this is Rivera. We have a code silver at the primary location. Unauthorized removal in progress. The response came back crisp over speakerphone. All units rolling. TA 4 minutes. Do not engage physically. Karen's expression flickered for the first time. But she doubled down. He's bluffing. Keep going. The flatbed's engine rumbled to life. Then the neighborhood lit up. Blue and red lights flashed at both ends of Maple Grove Lane. 2 unmarked SUVs and 3 patrol cars moved in silently at first, then with full lights and sirens. Doors opened. Agents and officers stepped out wearing vests marked Task Force. Karen froze mid-clipboard gesture. Sergeant Morales, tall and calm in a dark windbreaker, walked straight up to her. "Ma'am, you are currently interfering with a federal investigation. Step away from the vehicle." I was enforcing the rules," she stammered. "The covenants are very clear." "Covenants don't supersede federal law," Morales said. "You cut through security measures on an undercover surveillance vehicle. That chain and lock were part of an active operation. You just compromised months of work." Dale looked like he might faint. The tow driver quietly unhooked the winch and backed away, hands raised. Karen's clipboard trembled. "This is ridiculous. I want to speak to your supervisor." "You're looking at him," Morales replied. "And right now, you're looking at possible charges: tampering with government property, theft of government property, and obstruction." The next 48 hours were a masterclass in consequences. News vans appeared by morning. Not because the task force leaked anything, they didn't, but because 3 other neighbors had secretly filmed Karen's midnight operation on their doorbells. The footage spread quickly in the local community group before the department even issued a statement. I watched from my living room as Karen stood on her perfectly manicured lawn giving an interview, still trying to spin the narrative. "I was protecting property values," she insisted to the reporter. "That vehicle was an eyesore. How was I supposed to know it was police?" The reporter asked the obvious question. "Did you try contacting the owner first?" Karen opened her mouth, then closed it. Inside the command post later that day, Morales played the body cam and security footage for the team. The moment the bolt cutters bit into the chain drew groans and dark laughter. "You got lucky, Rivera," one of the analysts said. "If they'd driven it more than a block, the tracking beacon would have gone nuclear." Shrugged. "Luck had nothing to do with it. The Jeep was built for this." Karen wasn't. The identity theft ring was taken down 2 weeks later, partly because the Jeep had still managed to capture critical data before the interruption. 14 people were arrested in coordinated raids. Millions in fraudulent accounts were frozen. The task force celebrated quietly. Karen Whitaker's story had a different ending. The HOA board held an emergency meeting. She was voted out as president 27-1. The single vote in her favor was her own. A civil suit from the county attorney's office followed for the damage to government equipment. She settled quietly, paying for a new reinforced chain, wheel lock, and a formal apology letter. I stayed on Maple Grove Lane for another month to wrap up loose ends. On my last evening, I saw Karen walking her dog. She crossed to the other side of the street when she noticed me. I didn't wave. Some weeks later, I drove the same faded blue Jeep past the Maple Grove entrance sign one final time. The dent in the fender was still there. The new chain and lock gleamed under the streetlights. In the rearview mirror, the perfectly manicured lawns and identical mailboxes shrank away. Somewhere behind me, Karen Whitaker was probably updating the HOA covenants with a new rule. No government surveillance vehicles. Smiled. The world is full of rules. Some are written on paper. Others are written in steel chains and quiet patience. And every once in a while, the people most obsessed with the former learn the hard way about the latter.